Yo, good evening, good people. Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. And you've got the super team of sports talk here with y'all on one half of it. They call me Diego Barishnikov. God damn it, the Black Dominican Russian. Here checking in with my main man, my partner in crime. 6 foot and under post-up champ. Man, tell them who you are.
What's good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A in AA Sports, broadcasting live here on a Wednesday. We are here doing what we do. Another divisional breakdown. What's good, homie?
Everything is good. Yes, we are here to do the AFC South tonight. Titans, Colts, Texans, and those Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll get into that. Also, we got some other NFL news and notes. Hard Knocks episode 1 thoughts, and a little bit of NBA news as well. But as always, can't get started without thanking you guys for tuning in to us, whether you watch on the YouTube platform or whether you listen to us on either podcast platform, whether it be Spreaker or iTunes, whatever you decide to do, continue to do it. Watch, like, hit those subscribe buttons, share it with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever it may be. And we'll keep bringing y'all this content every week as we get closer and closer to the start of the NFL and the college football season. We got to sneak some college in here at some point, a little bit. Maybe next week.
College this year. It's like I missed that shit.
Right. All right. Without further ado, y'all know how we always start the show. Entertainment segment, something like the news. Uncle Hate always brings us some good entertainment stories from week to week. So we're going to let him take over. Uncle Hate, tell the people what you got for him this week.
All right, good people. First story we got is a Michigan man who attempted to kill his wife by poisoning her coffee with sleeping pills for 60 days. He only got 2 months in jail, only on the weekends. 46 years old, Brian Kozlowski. This is the second week in a row I've done a story where it seems like attempted murder should be, people get hit a lot harder, but it ain't really going that way. I mean, she ain't died, but he hit her with the sleeping pills pretty heavy. And he only has to go to jail on the weekends. All right. Y'all need to do better in Chicago. They literally had to shut down Chicago's Mount Sinai Hospital. They could not take any more trauma patients because they were overwhelmed this past weekend with the shootings. You know, it was a bad weekend altogether for shootings in the United States, but, Chicago, y'all do this pretty heavy now, so we've got to do better. We have got to. Next up. A gentleman, 70 years old, Terry Brazier, went to the hospital for one procedure, a bladder procedure. Come to find out he got circumcised by the hospital. Yes, people, circumcised.
I saw that.
Once they realized what they did, they agreed to a $24,000 payout. I know they probably numbed him in this situation, but it seems like you would know this is a little bit different than what you signed up for them to do.
Yeah, I heard about that story, and I heard he wasn't out. He was, I guess, kind of conscious, but under some kind of medication. But he wasn't all the way coherent, I guess. So that was kind of jacked up that they did that.
Yeah, I mean, he caught a nice little bag in for that process, but it just seems like that's not a good look. All right. A man in Oregon, Ashland, Oregon, had a box with $23,000 in cash money that I guess it was his savings. He threw it in a recycling bin. Some nice soul working for that company in Oregon actually gave him his money back. They found it, gave him his money back. Y'all gonna stop turning down.
Gave him his money back.
Right. Y'all gonna stop turning down guys' blessings. I'm working at a recycling bin. I find a box with $23,000 cash. They gave the box back. It was only short $320. That's it. I'm sorry. That's not happening.
would have had to get a little
At
bit.
least half. Your dumb ass put the money in the trash bin, basically. You would have got hit for half of that off top. And you should be happy getting half of your bread back. You
Right.
should be. Did you hear about the prison break? The guy who attempted to break out of that Brazilian jail yesterday?
Oh, nah.
Okay, this gentleman, a drug dealer who was in there for 75 years, his daughter came to visit him. Homie actually had his daughter bring him a synthetic mask with hair, and she was going to stay in there in his place. He was going to walk out of the jail. He literally got to the door, started acting real fidgety and nervous, and they caught him. And he hung himself in his jail cell the next day. So I guess he figured they're going to find his daughter and be like, okay, this ain't cool. Send her by her way, but he'd be free by that point. This is the same jail where they had that riot about 2 weeks ago where 55 people got killed and 16 of them got decapitated. Brazilian prison is real. Very real.
I don't know. I don't understand how they figured that shit was going to work.
Yeah, I mean, if you see the picture on CNN, it looked like somebody with a fake face on. But allegedly, he was on his way out the door. It was working. But,
once they caught up with her,
I guess they would have held her for him to come back. But shit, maybe he didn't care about his kid. Who knows? All right. Let's move this thing up so we got a good bit going. Shot that dumbass at that McDonald's in Florida again. This person decided that they were not going to serve paramedics. They said that we don't serve your kind around here. The paramedics said, we're not cops. Nah, we still don't serve you. Well, you lost your job. That's not bright. Y'all have to do better.
Somebody like that, I don't think they can, because if you don't understand the difference between a paramedic
right
and a cop,
it's funny, but in the same story, it was talking about a manager at a Starbucks basically did the same thing, told some cops who were in there that y'all got to roll. Our customers don't feel comfortable with y'all here. That don't really work that way, but she lost her job too. All right. Did you hear about this young man in Georgia who choked his sister clean out in 2018? He got sentenced to, I think, life. His name is Kevon Watkins. He changed the Wi-Fi code in their house so he can play video games uninterrupted. Well, his mama wanted him to. I'm so serious. His mama wanted him to get off of the computer. He got, disrespectful with her. Then the sister got in. Homie slaps a chokehold on his sister, chokes her out over the Wi-Fi code, and he gone to jail now for the rest of his life. Folks is crazy. What else we got here? Yeah, we can get back to work. Two dummies in some country across the sea. I can't see it because I've been drinking tequila. I've been drinking tequila. They these drug traffickers basically, they were at their container trying to unload their drugs. They got caught in the container. It's shut on them. They couldn't get out. They had to call the law to come let them out.
like how do you do that? Like when they come and jar the door open, you try to like come out, you know what I'm saying, and then slam it back real close, real quick so they can't see inside. But like, all right, appreciate y'all. Nah, it don't work like that.
Nah, yeah, they was in there. They said it was 104 degrees in temperature. It said it was 100 kilos of cocaine in there. I know I said this last week. It's a lot of cocaine floating around in this world. If all of this gets confiscated left and right, and folks is still in business, that's a lot of cocaine moving.
Yeah, I was about to say that 100 though don't compare to some of them other stories you had in some of the other weeks. 100, dare I say 100 is lightweight now?
That'll put 100 to put somebody on their feet like for real right now though. No. Somebody around in the A get hit with 100 kilos. Oh, they good. They the man.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Did you hear this story about this school in DeKalb County that had that poster up saying what hairstyles were acceptable when the kids went back to school? Y'all got to do better. That this ain't geared to. It's not like it's geared to other races, but y'all got to do better. That didn't make no sense.
Yeah, what's crazy to me is that, and people, if you don't live in Atlanta, you wouldn't know this, but DeKalb County is a predominantly black county for the most part. It's mostly black schools. You
How
got
many white people went to school with us about senior year? About 4, maybe.
not many at our school.
Yeah.
But, you got a few schools like Tucker and the Dunwoody area, and in certain parts of DeKalb County. It's predominantly white, but most of the county is predominantly black. So for them to have a rule in place like that is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what that's geared to. Shout out to these kids who went back to school that first week. Y'all got y'all school clothes and your school shoes. Well, I guess they do a lot of uniforms nowadays, so parents ain't really get hit super hard with that. But
they got to buy them sneakers, sneakers and book bags and they little belts and shit. But yeah, they don't get hit like we're having to get a bunch of outfits because you wear all your good shit that first week.
Yeah, you got to figure out how you rotate. Yeah,
that second week got to be shit that you pretty much wore during the summer, but you can't wear nothing from last year, at all.
No, can't do that.
Yeah.
But kids are throwing a white tee nowadays, with their sneakers, and that's a go.
Yes, yeah, a lot easier when they're just wearing khakis.
All right, ready to go to work?
Yeah, man, let's get it. We appreciate your Uncle Hay on that something like the news segment. Man, but we're ready tonight to jump into another division. This is the AFC South. Again, we said it's going to be the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Jaguars, and missing somebody. The Tennessee Titans. That's who I'm missing.
It's a very interesting team there. I want to get into them later, but that's an interesting team there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm dying to hear that. All right, man. Let's start off with these Texans, man. These Texans, Houston Texans, led by Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt and company. Mr. Bill O'Brien is still at the helm. He's like
still got a job.
He's like the AFC South version of Marvin Harrison. No, not Marvin Harrison. Marvin Lewis.
Say his name. No. Don't say that shit.
Man. He'd be all right. What's up, Marvin? But yeah, Marvin Lewis. But Bill O'Brien won't go away.
I think Deshaun. Well, I know we said it last year. Deshaun Watson saved his job. I think he was fired. What? Right before they got him, he was probably gonna get fired.
At least for the time being. They went 11-5 last year, but I think they got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. If I'm not
they got their ass kicked last year. Indianapolis. That was a home game. Indianapolis kicked their ass last year.
Yes, that's right. Because Indianapolis was hot at the end of the season.
Yeah.
They were on a roll. So of course, big news. Pretty much, damn near really the only news coming out of Houston's camp so far has been about just David Clowney.
Yeah.
And his lack of participation thus far due to the holdout and him wanting a new deal that he is not going to get. Doesn't look like. So.
Well, they said that was a story we had for later, but they said he's going to report after the third week of the preseason, which makes sense because he has no leverage. But
okay.
I think we said that last year. You can't pay 2 defensive ends $100 million, and you're probably playing merciless $50 million. You can't do that. That's the money don't spread that way. But I think the main thing with Houston, they got to keep Deshaun Watson upright. This young man got sacked a lot last year, and I know I'm looking at this number. That shit is not right. That ain't right. I did my research wrong on that one. I know he didn't get sacked 26 times. It was well more than that. But injuries hit them pretty hard last year. They lost Will Fuller again. Kiki QT came in. He was a solid, second wide receiver to Hopkins. He got hurt. Lamar Miller is what he is, but they did draft in the first round a young man on the offensive line out of Alabama State. I'm not sure what exactly they're going to get from. They did seem to address that offensive line. If Bill O'Brien called the shot to sign Matt Khalil, he did you no favors, Deshaun Watson. None. Matt Khalil is the turnstile, which basically means that whoever comes in front of him is going to be let free. and they're gonna be on you.
He 100.
What's up?
I said, cause he 100.
I mean, it seemed like it.
Yeah.
Matt Khalil ain't that. I mean, you got to think his brother was older. He'd been around longer. I mean, he probably ain't even 30. He's just trash.
Maybe I am thinking about his brother then.
Yeah, he's just trash. J.J. Watt wants a new deal. Like I said, they can't pay Jadeveon, so he's probably just going to play on that walk year. What expectations do you have for this team coming up?
DeAndre Hopkins is a bad motherfucker and
catches everything.
You know, if J.J. Watt's in the lineup, he's going to have his 15-plus sacks. Did they do anything to that line to help Deshaun Watson other than Matt Khalil?
Well, they drafted the dude first round, that cat out of Alabama State. That's about it.
Oh, that's what I wanted. Running back situation, Lamar Miller. We kept hearing Deontay Foreman. This is his breakout year. We was hearing that for 3 years, and now as of yesterday or the day before yesterday, that experiment is over.
That breakout is somewhere else,
right? And it's probably gonna happen. I think it's been on Bill O'Brien's plate this year. Like you said, Deshaun Watson may have saved him, with the rookie season that he had, but it's time. It's go time now. I mean, you got
this is Deshaun's third year, so he done rolled for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they were 11-5 last year. Deshaun gave him that promise his rookie year, so that's when I think he got saved.
Yeah. Right before he got hurt. Them 5 games they balled. They was like, okay, we're gonna keep Bill around.
Yeah, but a key for this team, man. I mean, you have to. For one, they need a tight end threat. Now, last year on the opposite side of DeAndre, they had Will Fuller and I think another cat. I can't think of his name.
Baby, but he got hurt immediately.
They had another young cat. I can't think of his name, but neither him or Will Fuller, rather, couldn't really stay healthy.
Kiki QT.
Maybe it was QT. Okay, maybe it was him.
Yeah.
But, they got to be a little bit more consistent in the run game. Like you said, Lamar Miller is what he is. He's not bad, but he ain't nothing that really scare you either.
Nope.
So they just got to be more consistent there. That will help Deshaun and, not taking so many sacks because he's pretty good at play action. So if you can get a run game going, then that will help with that. It's just a matter of
he might want to learn how to slide too. That would be helpful.
I mean, yeah, he takes some hits, but at the same time, he another one of those players like a Cam, like a Mike Vick, like a Josh Allen. We saw some of that from him last year. They are, they kind of are what they are. Yeah. And if you start taking certain aspects of their game away from them, then you'll find out that you'll find that a lot of the big plays and things that they make because of some of the things that they can do outweigh probably some of the bad plays.
Gotcha. And truth be told, most of the bad hits happen behind the pocket. They're in the pocket. Most of the really bad hits.
Yeah,
so
he just got to be smarter. He holds the ball way too long. That's really the issue. Is him holding the ball way too long.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, they went 11-5. This next team, the Indianapolis Colts, they went 10-6, so they're right there on them. And like we said earlier, they played them in the playoffs and they beat the brakes off of them. But the problem with the Colts as of today, right now, Andrew Luck still ain't practicing. We talked about this last week. I want to say we said it was nothing instead of something. But, I guess the concern is if they say it's the calf, he ain't really – has he practiced in OTAs this year?
I'm pretty sure he did. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't have practiced.
Okay, so I mean, I know I guess he had to get hurt during the OTAs because this wasn't a lingering injury from last year. So he got hurt. They're being cautious, which is the thing to do at this point. But this team is loaded. The Colts are loaded every kind of which way. I like them at running back. I like them at wide receiver. That linebacker that they picked up that nobody knew about last year led the league in tackles. They had all that money this past offseason. Didn't spend much of it, which lets you know where they are as far as legit talent. When you ain't spending your money, this team, that window's probably maybe 3 to 4 years where they can legit win a title. with Luck
Yeah.
making real money.
Yeah, as long as they continue on the upward climb, absolutely. And them not spending a whole lot of money in free agency, also is a telltale sign that they like a lot of the young players that they got, because they know at some point they're gonna have to pay them dudes.
Yeah.
You kind of go out and spend a lot of money on something that doesn't really move the needle far enough, or you can find something cheaper in house. Then that makes a lot of sense. A lot of times you'll see teams that have been right on the cusp one year, and 10-6 or whatever, maybe got bounced first round or maybe the divisional round, and they panic and they run out and they spend that all that money thinking, okay, now I got me a couple stars, this should put me over the hump, and then you end up going backwards, and then you got cap issues, and then
Right.
you sugar the shit real quick.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people had circled them and Lev Bell like, okay, that's a good match. That's a really good match. But they went the other way. Marlon Mack was solid for them last year. Had 900 yards on the ground, 9 touchdowns. This Hines fella, he was solid for him with 148 touches. But it comes down to Andrew Luck. I like what they did with the offensive line. They protect him. They done spent real draft picks the last couple of years with it. And they picked up a receiver from my team, Devin Funchess, which basically means that all them balls he dropped with Cam, he going to catch all of them with Andrew Luck, like everything. Because it works up there, people. That shit is legit. Eric Ebron couldn't catch a cold in Detroit.
Nothing.
Cold, fam.
Nothing. But no, you absolutely hit the nail on the head. There was something else I was going to bring up, and I lost my train of thought just that quick. Oh, but no, the fact that the Colts had Marlon Mack and a Hines that did pretty good for them last year, I think that's what helped them say, you know what, we don't need to go get Lev Bell. That's a prime example of what I was talking about. You go spend and give Lev Bell all that money, they were doing just fine at running back. It wouldn't justify, the cost.
Right.
I don't think now you going back a little bit, back to Andrew Luck not practicing. He needs to get in there soon because they can't afford to have another slow start like they did last year. And I just pulled up their last year's record. They lost 6 out of their first 7 games.
And made the playoffs at 10-6.
It made the playoffs at 10-6. So you can't you said that. You can't have another slow start like that this year and expect to win 8 out of your last 9.
They went on a real run last year.
No, 9 out of your last 10. Yeah, 9 out of your last 10. You can't expect to do that again this year.
You made a good point earlier. They got to win now because they got to pay these dudes. They got to pay them real soon. Don't they have a corner out of Ohio State they took pretty high? A corner or a safety?
Malik Hooker.
They're going to have to pay him soon. But the window's open.
I'm not saying that the window's any shorter because they have to pay him, but, they'll have the money to pay them and probably still be able to keep trucking along because they're not out spending a lot of money right now in free agency.
Is the money in cash in Big Jim's car?
Briefcase, baby, briefcase.
There you go. All right, let's get to these other teams. All right, now the Tennessee Titans. I said that was an interesting team, and that elicited a response from you where you said you can't wait to hear what I got to say. The reason why I said it's interesting.
Please enlighten me.
What's up?
No, I said please enlighten me.
The reason why I said they're interesting is they went 9-7 last year. They made the playoffs the year before, and I don't feel like they remotely know what they're gonna do with quarterback. What if he balls this year? And I'm talking about Mariota. What if he balls?
That's a big if, and it could give some. I don't know. It could give them a false sense of security.
Now we talked about it earlier when they signed what's the old boy Tannehill. I think we both agreed Tannehill was gonna beat him out for that job this year, which that'll make it a lot easier for them if they ain't gotta pay Mariota. But a part of me feels like he hasn't stayed healthy. They won 9 games this past year. They won a playoff game the year before. But why I don't feel like this is a good team? It's like they're middling, but they're winning some kind of way.
They're very inconsistent. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule last year. In the games that they won and lost, the teams that they beat the Texans at the beginning of the season. I think the Texans were actually pretty decent at the beginning of the season. But they beat the Texans. They beat the Jaguars. We know the Jaguars are on a downward spiral last year. They beat Philly early in the season in overtime. We know Philly.
That was Wentz's first game back. I think he was iffy.
So, that's a 3-game win streak right there at the beginning of the season. That's kind of iffy. But a win is a win in the NFL. Then they went on to in the middle of the season, you can't knock these wins back to back. They went into Dallas and won, and then they came back home and beat the Patriots. Then they won 4 out of their last 5, beating some scrubs though. They beat the Jets, Jaguars, Giants, and the Redskins to finish the season off. So a lot of media.
One game out the playoffs, basically.
Yeah, one game.
And that was with their quarterback giving them 2,500 yards in the air.
And I want to say the last game of the season that they lost to the Colts, it could have worked out that they could have won the division, right? If they win that game, and who ended up winning the division at 11-5?
Houston.
Yeah, if Houston would have lost
came down that last week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
It could have been the Titans as division champions or whatever in the playoffs. So.
But why don't I have a good feeling about them at all? They won a playoff game last year.
Because of Mariota.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. The defense is not bad at all. Mike Vrabel got them playing real good. They always seem to be a team that don't have consistent wide receiver weapons for some reason.
Do you know one of their wide receivers?
Is it Corey Davis?
That was the high draft pick, but the rest of them
they got a few
Delaney
more.
Walker's still there, but he got to be older. Didn't he start off as a 49er?
Yeah, he was with us
100 years ago.
4 or 5 years.
Okay, so
yeah, he was with us for a minute. He left us after the 2012 Super Bowl.
Mariota has the ball. He's playing for a contract at this point.
Corey Davis and Taji Sharp. That's their 2 starting receivers.
We're going to see. They picked up Cameron Wake. They picked up Adam Humphries to play the slot. But at the end of the day, I think the key to unlocking everything with them is they got to keep Mariota upright. And if he doesn't work, Ryan Tannehill is there. But they're kind of like that meme on Instagram with Spider-Man looking at himself. They like the same.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like you're going to lose the same, just who you're going to do it with.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Hey. All right, let's jump to these Jacksonville Jaguars. You remember a long time ago we used to call these cats the Savages?
You know what? I was thinking, I wanted to see. They need to they didn't give Derrick Henry the ball enough last year. The Titans.
Well, they said they're going to go that way this year. After the team we were about to talk about, the Jaguars. You remember that Thursday night game where they let Derrick Henry run all over them? It was like no effort at all. Well, Now they're saying they're finally going to let Derrick Henry get the ball, but that doesn't really bode well when he's hurt already.
Yeah, that's true. I'm looking now. He had 215 carries for 1,059 yards. Played all 16 games, by the way.
I guarantee you 250 of them yards came in that Thursday night game against Jacksonville.
I mean, but even still, he still had good numbers, 12 touchdowns. Because, they got Deion Lewis there, too. I forgot about that, so I'm just looking at the sheet. He had 214 carries, so one less carry, and he had 917 yards. Now, he only had 2 touchdowns, so obviously Derrick Henry was, doing the heavy lifting at the goal line. But that's some pretty good running of the football right there. You start trying to figure out how they won games. If you can run the football like that, and we talked about how, the defense is serviceable, then, hey, that'll get you 9 wins.
So basically, it falls on the quarterback. One of them got to figure it out.
And we right back to where we started from. It's on Mariota.
Okay. And then we both said that Tannehill gonna beat him out. So
there you go.
Tough break. All right. Long time ago, this next team we used to call them the Savages. They lost that about week 4.
They lost that last year, yeah, buddy.
About week 4. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They went 5-11 last year. 27th in total offense, but they were 5th in total defense. Can we sit there? We can't put all this on Blake Bortles, can we?
No, you can't. You can put it on not only Blake Bortles, but the defense not giving a damn last year. Now, if you want to say that was because the offense wasn't giving them anything.
What week you say they quit?
I mean, I can't recall right now. I mean, it was probably mid-season, somewhere around there. But they definitely stopped giving a damn. But yeah, it came down to Blake Bortles in that offense. I mean, Leonard Fournette had his issues and whatever the fuck he was
most of the season.
Yeah, what he was doing,
of course.
And then they don't have now. I can't say don't as in current because I don't remember off the top of my head who they went and got. But they didn't have.
Remember, Marquise Lee got hurt right before the season. He was supposed to be their number one.
He was supposed to be their number one. A former, just the previous year, former number 3.
Right.
So he was supposed to morph into a number one. Okay, and then he goes
How
down.
Does that
and
work?
Then next thing you know, as sorry as Blake Bortles is, what the fuck was he supposed to pass to?
Yeah. Can't put all that on.
Yeah, so that I mean, their season just went. Like I said, it spiraled out of control early. So they're gonna be looking to get back to form because I think they are more indicative of what they were year before last and the previous year than what we saw last year.
Is that magic, that Foles magic, is it gonna transfer to Jacksonville?
They went 5-11 last year. I think he'll give them 4, maybe 5 more wins. But I still think the Colts are the. I mean, he's competent at least.
Yeah, I saw. I saw a dude on TV today said they're gonna make the Super Bowl. I'm trying to think what dude it was on ESPN said they're gonna make the Super Bowl.
Okay.
He's like, if they get Foles and he turns around and gives them just average play, because Bortles was below average.
Right.
1-5 last year was shit. If they get above average, that's 10 right there with their defense. So I mean, I don't know Super Bowl. I don't see that.
I get the theory, and if you can make the playoffs, then anything can happen. But I'm looking at, of course we know the Patriots gonna be there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at teams like the Chiefs and the Chargers.
It's 2 coming from that division at least.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out, as good as Jacksonville's defense has been, is it still up to that level? Because they're going to be missing, what's the linebacker's name, Tevin?
Yeah, Tevin told them, I'm going to take the year off. Y'all hold it down.
We going to see. I mean, Miles Jack and them boys got to hold that down, right?
Yeah, they got to win a division. And I'm not sure they can win that division.
I mean, let's see. I'm trying to think off top. I mean, is the AFC that deep outside of
just the South? Well, we ain't worrying about the full AFC. They got to get in. So I'm thinking they got to win the division.
Wild card.
Okay.
I'm thinking wild card. I mean, we know one of the wild cards.
Pittsburgh sitting there. Cleveland should be better. They should be.
Yeah.
Patriots, Chiefs, not the Jets, Chargers. Who else? Who am I missing? Colts, Texans.
Yeah, I think Chiefs. Chiefs, Patriots,
Steelers or Cleveland. One of them.
One or two of them will go win that division, and then the Colts are going to win the division. So that leaves any wild card team in that mix with like. Maybe Houston, the other AFC West team, whoever don't win the division, the other AFC. Yeah, so I think the Jaguars can be right in that 9-7, 10-6 mix. That should be enough for a wild card. It'll probably come down to a couple head-to-head matchups against some of those similar teams. I don't have their schedule right now, but I think Nick Foles can get them to a wild card.
How do you feel about Doug Marrone?
I don't think he's a bad coach. I have questions of whether he is the authoritative voice that a team like that needs. Yeah. He seemed kind of laid back to me. And I think this team needs somebody with a little bit more sideline presence. Because a lot of their fuckery is in game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So but I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. But maybe that calm approach can, it works. Sometimes it works in for positive as well. So who knows? But I don't think he's a bad coach at all.
It kind
And
of
it's gonna
works
come.
out for him, I think, in regards to that calm approach, because you got to remember you got Coughlin there. Coughlin's the bad cop in most cases, but
is he really?
They were going to go the other way with him about a year or two ago. I kind of felt like they were.
Is he really outspoken though? Coughlin is like.
Oh no, he's checking them behind the scenes.
Okay.
At least I think. I mean, remember he took that guaranteed money from Fournette.
Yeah.
This past year. So, this the same dude who said if you early, you late. So I still don't know what they got at wide receiver. That's important.
Well, we know they got D.D. Westbrook.
Marquise Lee
should be back. I want to say they signed somebody else. Dante Moncrief is the other guy that he's
in Pittsburgh. Remember, he was there last year.
Chris Conley, excuse me, from the Chiefs.
Kansas City.
Chris Conley, Kansas City. Yeah, I said the Chiefs. Just tequila. See, and then I got this over here. So you had me doubting myself. I'm like, wait a minute, it's the same damn team.
It go that way. My bad.
Shit happens. It's all good. But like you say, they still kind of iffy on the weapons.
Who's the tight end? They let the old boy who liked to drink go. Safarian Jenkins. He's gone.
Yeah.
Foles was the tight end.
Mercedes Lewis ain't still hiding out nowhere, is he?
I think he's in Green Bay now.
I'm not sure who they got at tight end. I can look it up real quick.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Well, that's them. All right. So we both got the Colts winning division?
Yeah, I got the Colts winning this division.
I think it's gonna be the same records though. It's gonna flip flop. Colts gonna be 11-5.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's gonna be a flip flop. I think the Jags are gonna end up being second in that division.
Okay, so you got the Texans dropping.
I got the Texans dropping.
Okay.
I don't like the running back situation. I'm not convinced that Deshaun Watson is going to take any less of a beating back there. JJ Watt is effective. How motivated is Clowney going to be that he can get his bread? I just don't like what I think it's going to be the direction.
If they win this division, will you put some respect on Bill O'Brien's name?
No. I don't like that cat, man.
Hey, because you've been consistent. You've been on it like 2-3 years now. My dumb ass fell for it. I was like, Rick Ross. He's like, cuz he ain't shit.
I thought he should have got fired a couple years back, but like you said, man, he was in the right place at the right time. Here comes Deshaun Watson to save the day.
Didn't they owner die last year?
Keelan Cole is the Jaguars' other receiver. Did they what now?
Didn't McNair die last year, the owner?
Yes.
So that might buy him some time right there. Keep some continuity.
I mean, and then he's like de facto GM. He's really running shit.
You see how these suckers be falling into that power nowadays? They'll be falling into it.
But at the same time, it could be a gift and a curse because if he don't get it done and he got all the power, ain't nobody else to point the finger at.
It's really not.
And the minute somebody gets hired as a GM or president or whatever, he might as well start packing his shit.
Absolutely. It got to be somebody with some real power. So I don't have a biggest disappointment for this division.
I do.
Who you got? What you got?
If the Jaguars don't step their shit up, that's going to be the biggest disappointment because you got a quarterback now. So there's no more, it's Blake Bortles' fault. There's no more of that. Jalen Ramsey didn't write a list this year, but he came to camp. He came to camp in a fucking armored truck.
Did you drink the Kool-Aid though?
Which one?
Because you remember Nick Foles wasn't really good for like a lot of years.
Yeah, but sometimes you get these guys and
is he Rich Gannon 2.0?
They stay in the league for years and years, and by the time they get older, they have figured it out.
Okay.
And and they know how to be the perfect game manager, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, he's better than Bortles.
He's better than Bortles.
Yeah,
I just Fournette's got to keep his head on straight because there's no TJ Yeldon to fall back on this year. I won't say they drafted it back though, right?
Yeah, I believe they did.
Didn't they pick up somebody from Florida? But anyway, the Jaguars they got to step up. They got to step up. So that'll be a disappointment to me if they don't step up this season, and at least get right there back in that playoff hunt.
They got Jawan Taylor, the offensive tackle.
That's what I think about from Florida.
He dropped to him.
Right. I can't remember what his reason for dropping was, whether it was medical or character.
I believe it was character.
Big air quotes.
The same way Josh Allen dropped to him. Josh Allen was supposed to go third in the draft. He dropped to them at 7. And a lot of people had him as the top pass rusher in the draft. And he dropped to them. Exactly. So, either way it goes, y'all got to come up with Jalen Ramsey's money next summer. Tevin Smith ain't there, which all you veterans who are sitting around right now, you're probably getting cut January, February, because they got payments to make to other cats. So, all right, we can leave this division where it is and jump on into these few NFL notes. Like I said, we got a little bit of basketball, but I tried to put basketball to bed, but it keeps coming up.
Just keep coming up, don't it?
It really does. All right, Tom Brady got a contract extension. All right, we universally recognize Tom Brady as the GOAT, right? Just go ahead and say it. Don't bring that Joe Montana shit up.
Joe Montana is the GOAT.
Okay. Would y'all have come with Joe Montana with this funny money ass deal they gave Tom Brady?
We the king of funny money. But this shit here, explain to me the purpose, because I saw the 23 mil per year and was like, okay, he just won't go away. That's a nice number. He giving more money back that the Patriots probably won't use.
That was on Saturday. We was like, okay, that's decent,
Right. Now, what is this that I'm hearing now that, this is going to be a void deal in 2020? What is this about?
How in the fuck you got that many Super Bowl titles? And I'm going to say their email. I ain't going to say facts. They send this shit to your agent. Really? What do you have to do in New England to get real money? This is Tom Brady, dog. This deal is trash. They said $23 million. It's essentially $8 million for 2019. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Is this it?
Yeah, $8 million raise, rather. Yeah. So I don't know what that puts him to. Does that put him to 30?
Oh yeah, he's at 30.
Okay, I know he was at like around 20, 22 or so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so they give him a little raise for some little new money this year. Is all. Okay. Which probably helps him get even more cap room, right, for this year.
Of course, it created $5 million more from what I saw. How do you put this shit in front of Tom Brady?
I mean, he is old, but at the same time, he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Super Bowls, right?
He got 6 now? Is it 5? It might be 6. I think it's 6.
I think it's 6.
Damn.
Because they lost 2. No, they lost 3.
2 to the Giants, 1 to Philly.
I'm sorry, they lost 4. Wait a minute. No, they beat.
That's only 2 That's only 3 I can recall. They beat Seattle.
They beat Seattle. They should have lost to Seattle. I think that's where I'm missing my count. But the fact that we can't even remember right now off the top of our heads how many Super Bowls they didn't want to been to, enough said, right?
That's crazy.
But yeah, you would think that
Monday and Tuesday, you find out the real details of this contract. You like, damn. Really?
But we talk about Drew Brees and New Orleans doing him the same way. It's like once you get old, you still winning. Well, we ain't finna go long term with big money on you.
And that's not, you know what? That's a good point. I ain't think about that because what Drew is getting, 20 to 25 on these 1-year deals. That shit ain't bad.
Every year, and when you look at it like that, I kind of can't blame these teams.
Nah, because he should have fell off the cliff a long time ago if he's 42 years old.
And Father Time is undefeated, so maybe the vegan shit and the vegan shakes or whatever it is giving him another couple of years, and that's great. But yeah, I wouldn't tie no big money into a long term deal for somebody that age neither.
See, but that's when I have to bring it back around and point the finger at you because you and your people took their goddamn future. No, Tom Brady would not be a Patriot right now if y'all had with Garoppolo.
Hey man, look, we was chilling. They called us. We just answered the phone. Like, what was it? 802 area code? Who was?
And maybe that's why he's not tripping, because he know it ain't shit behind him. Maybe that's why he's like, cool, whatever. Do what y'all need to do. I'm gonna put my house up for sale. But I was thinking about it, like, okay, let's say they called his bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell he gonna go? 'Cause 43 in August.
Hey man, don't get me wrong. It only take one. It only take one team.
Tell me one.
Somebody would sign Tom Brady for a year
at 43
and be like, "Hey, let's go for it." If he have
Tennessee will have a spot next year,
especially with Mike Vrabel and Romeo Crennel still there. That's Deion Lewis there. That's perfect. You wanted a team that's perfect. You don't get no better than that.
That's the Patriots South.
Exactly. They want to take a 1 year flyer on him.
Is Giselle gonna let him go down there to Nashville, Tennessee?
Man, Giselle don't care. Giselle don't care.
That's terrible, man. But hey, we're gonna see.
But I can't see Tom Brady suiting up with another uniform. But I couldn't see Montana. I couldn't see Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon.
Montana balled in Kansas City though. He balled.
He did. So I mean, it happens, especially when you get great players, great quarterbacks, especially who want to continue to play late in late in age. Eventually, teams move on, and if they still got a little bit left, then they go to other teams. Like, look, told you I still had it.
He's 42. Excuse me. Most teams would have moved on like 6 years ago.
But he don't get hit. Man. He doesn't get hit.
He doesn't get hit. His jersey be clean every Sunday. Every Sunday.
We talk about Eli not taking no hits. Tom Brady don't take too many either.
He hasn't taken that rock you hit since he tore up his knee. That's about 5-6 years ago. And that was a low hit. It wasn't like they really hit him. So, yeah. I think he knows he got leverage because they ain't got shit behind him. So, he'll be there next year most likely. All right, we already kind of talked about this, the franchise tag holdouts. Ngakoue in Jacksonville, he went back to work. That franchise tag is decent money, dog.
Yeah.
At DM,
and when you know that it's really no end game, it's really not benefiting you to sit out. When you don't have the leverage, you might as well save yourself the possible fine money. Come on in and get to work. Save yourself a soft tissue hamstring injury week 1. Just get your own ass in there to work and grind out. Get that guaranteed money. Go free next year.
There you go. All right, Ryan Khalil retired from my Carolina Panthers last year. He turned around and signed with the Jets this past week. He's a USC cat. I don't blame him. I ain't tripping. We picked up somebody, but I guess my main question is, well, not question, but this is good for Sam Darnold. You have to have a line. They picked up a running back.
Right.
I think we talked about the AFC East last week. I'm not impressed with their weapons on the outside, but if Lev Bell works, you got somebody. You got to keep your quarterback upright. This is a good move for them. Very good move for them. And I want to say they traded for a dude on the offensive line who started 10 games last year for Baltimore. Protect your quarterback. Protect your quarterback.
Yeah.
That's the main thing you need to do. Now, Darnold got to help them out by not throwing the ball to the other team, but we'll see. We'll see.
So he only had I think 15 interceptions last year, and that's really not bad for a rookie. He's got to clean some things up, absolutely. But I think it could have been worse.
Yeah, very true. Michael Crabtree, I think it was that Monday or Tuesday? Word was out that he signed with the Cardinals. Yeah, and then Monday. The next morning it was like, nah, they couldn't agree to terms. We're talking about Michael Crabtree, the person who talks. Word on the street is he speaks of himself in third person, which is the shit.
Right.
If you talk to yourself in third person, that's the shit, people. A lot of people don't do that. Everybody ain't built for that. Crabtree does. I didn't realize he hadn't had 1,000 yards since 2016. I didn't. There has to be another place out there for him. There has to be.
He'll get a job. He'll get a job. You know, but you talking about him not having 1,000 yards. What was his last two spots? Baltimore and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Baltimore. No, he was with Baltimore last year.
Baltimore.
I can't think of who he was with before that.
Nah,
the Raiders.
It was just Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, he got a good season with the Raiders that last year he was there.
He had 654. I didn't realize he led the league in drops with 8. 8 don't seem like a lot if you got 107 targets.
I was just about to say, I didn't realize that 8 was the highest number of drops in the league. We sure nobody had more than 8 drops last year?
That's word on the street, but that's pretty good, though. If you throw the ball at me 107 times and I only drop it 8,
yeah, I mean,
my face. I caught the ball. You know?
I guess, yeah, that's what, 1 every 2 games?
Yeah, it ain't bad.
I still can't believe 8. I mean, shit, Julio dropped the ball a lot. He ain't have more than 8.
You know, they don't count everything as a drop. They be finessing that to,
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
You're right.
But I would love to see Crab on a playoff team. Hell, y'all don't need him? I guess I like seeing cats go home. Pettis is on the outside, right? Goodwin's on the outside.
Pettis on the outside. Goodwin on the outside. We got Trent Taylor probably in the slot. We drafted Jalen Hurd, which is we drafted Jalen Hurd, which is a big body receiver, but he right now he's not doing he's not getting a lot of reps in camp, so he's way down on the depth chart right now. Got Kittle in the middle. I mean, we could always use a sure-handed possession receiver.
He's what, Doug Baldwin light? Diet Doug Baldwin?
No, Doug can get down the field a little bit. He's I don't know if I like the Seattle mix because I don't think Metcalf is going to be a take the top off. Well, no, they got Tyler Lockett for that. But I think Metcalf is going to have to be the possession type receiver.
You play tight end and bring Crab.
Yeah, I mean, he really does. I think he need to gain 20 pounds and play tight end. Yeah. But he'll have a lot better chance, I think, at beating linebackers and safeties than he will corners. But we'll see how that goes. But,
shout out to my Carolina Panthers. We finally got Trey Boston. We got a safety. You know, people, I was feeling the type of way because me and this cat talk on the side. He kept telling me, we're going to sign Eric Berry, right? And I really wanted Eric Berry. I really did, but it didn't work out that way. We brought Trey Boston home. We drafted him in the 4th round some years ago because this y'all ass. We beating y'all in San Francisco this year.
Oh, so Trey Boston is the fact that's going to make the fact that that's going to be.
We're about to make plays because we beat y'all this year. And I don't even want a chicken bet this year. I want the outlaw ribeye from Longhorn.
Oh, Longhorn? Nah, we want to go steak. We going steak.
Okay, tell me.
We can do. No, you said Longhorn. I was thinking Outback. No, we can do Longhorn. Or
I want that outlaw.
Yeah.
We're gonna win that game.
We'll see by the time that game roll around. We might have to up that bet depending on how we looking.
That's gonna be a bad look for you that little time period there. Because I want to say y'all play us, and then next week y'all got Ben and them. It's around that same time, man. Y'all play Pittsburgh.
We play Pittsburgh like week 3, week 4.
Okay, so y'all gonna lose to them first, then y'all play us.
We play Pittsburgh on the day we retire T.O. jersey. We're not losing that game. Sorry, I already told my wife. She's a Steelers fan. We ain't losing that game. Sorry.
But yeah, I'm happy about getting the safety. It's coming together. I feel pretty good about that. He was a low-cost safety. Made plays last year. Had 3 INTs, 79 tackles. I feel pretty good about that. All right, you sent me a video a little bit before we went on the air. Well, a couple hours, give or take. It was a Dallas Cowboys practice. And I'm still trying to figure out what the entire fuck was Dak Prescott looking at when he made that pass. Because he threw the ball directly to the defense. Like right to him.
People, if you haven't seen it, go check out some of the Dallas Cowboys camp clips from today.
There was no pressure.
August 7th. They in what looks like a 7-on-7 drill. And Dak Prescott takes a 3-step drop and proceeds to fire the ball directly to the cornerback, and the cornerback high stepped on his ass to the touchdown. But the clip was like, "Who needs you to sign Zeke when you got Dak throwing these kind of beautiful passes?" or something to that degree.
Dog, if they got top 5 money, top 5 right now, and top 5 money is 33.25. That's with everybody. Why he ain't took this deal?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they got 30 on the table. I know they said they got a offer on the table.
Steven said it's top 5 money. You know, you can finesse me all day.
What's the fifth? What's the fifth person's salary?
Damn, I had that shit wrote
What's
down.
the fifth quarterback?
It's Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady. Now he done slipped in there, and there was one more.
Kirk Cousins?
Nah, Cousins only at 28.
But it's about 30. It's about 30.
It's 33 with as it's currently projected. Because Russell and Tom are at 35 right now.
I'm talking about Dak's deal.
Well, yeah, if you go off the average of the top 5, it's 33 and some change. That's good money.
Hold on, let me see.
But I think we were talking about it earlier this week. He was like, well, what's the guarantees?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, it's all about the guarantees. Well, this can't be right. But anyway, if it's enough of a top 5 deal on the table, they'll get it done at some point. They probably doing little stuff like language and all of that. They'll get it done. I'm not worried about them getting Dak's deal done.
You see, I didn't bring up the other cats because Stephen Jones said at the same time, we got top 5 deals for all of them. Zeke ain't taking no top 5 deal because when I did my research before this show, top 5 money is 10.5 a year. That shit ain't happening. No.
Right, and that's why I was asking. They said and that's why I was trying to figure out. He said he got top 5. Is it number 5? Because Zeke ain't taking number 5 money.
Nah. I didn't realize that David Johnson and Lev made pretty much the same money.
Yeah, because then David Johnson got his money kind of early. He might be only with 1 or 2 years left on that deal, if I'm not mistaken.
It's like both of them at 13 on the average, but yeah, Zeke ain't coming back for less than 14.5. I can't see a way that y'all sit there and convince him to show up for less than 14.5.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'm not tripping on Amari Cooper because it is what it is. But Hard Knocks observations. I watched it this afternoon while I was working. Yeah, that defensive tackle that got cut. Yeah, you brought that on yourself, homie.
Because I could tell he was lazy from jump.
Yeah, he kind of brought that on himself. If they want you, if you say you hurt and you can't play, and they want you to go to a trainer and you don't show up, and it's like on a weekly TV show, you're gonna get cut. You're out.
You are undrafted cat.
I'm gonna say something. I don't care for Derek Carr. Okay. I don't know why. I don't think that's gonna work. I really don't. I don't know what it is. I just don't feel like that's gonna work with him and AB. I give it week 5 for AB's hollering at him.
I mean, I was gonna say you don't like him in the offense, or you don't think his personality is gonna.
I don't think his personality is strong enough to deal with 2 alphas like Gruden and AB. It just doesn't. I didn't get that vibe looking at him. And of course, it's the first episode. Now the boy was good about 2 or 3 years ago, but you got different factors in this situation now. But at the same time, AB's feet and that situation, he may not be giving you exactly what y'all traded for, but they ain't give up much of shit to get him. So I know they ain't on that.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the episode last night, and the first part of it when Derek Carr sitting on the couch with his wife and, man, was it a baby or the dog? I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah, his 3 kids. Yeah.
Yeah, but when he was like, oh, me and AB have had a relationship, and he goes on to give an example or a story about a pass he threw him in Pro Bowl practice. I don't know how many years ago. I'm like, yeah, man, y'all ain't friends. And his wife's face to me was looking like, if you don't stop fucking lying, you know what I'm saying?
Let him miss AB on a deep post. Let him miss him. And AB come on that sideline and go ape shit.
Well, we're gonna see how that goes. But and I don't know what it is, and this is not criticism, but a lot of times when you have the cats that are into the church a lot, into the Bible, they bring that stuff and into the locker room or what have you. They tend to have calmer demeanors or less confrontational. So that's just kind of a personality trait of of a guy like that. So like you said, I mean, how does that mesh in the NFL locker room? We heard about some things that went on with Derek Carr and some of the linemen.
Yeah, they allegedly quit on him.
A couple of years back. So I think that's a valid concern that you brought up about how his personality is going to mesh with John Gruden and AB. You look at next year, they can cut him with very little dead money, pretty much none. I think it's less than $5 million or right at $5 million.
Yeah.
And you've got what is projected to be a pretty talented quarterback class coming in.
Right.
So it's definitely a make or break year. I'm pretty sure John Gruden has had a one-on-one with him and told him that. Is it Mike Mayock that's there, the GM now? I'm pretty sure he said it. And before either one of them had a conversation with him, I'm pretty sure Derek Carr knows that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he got to come bring it.
It's really not that many jobs out there, though. It's really not.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. You're gonna always have a Titans, a Texan, not Texan, not a Texan, a Titan or a Dolphin. Denver. You always gonna have 4 or 5 teams out there that just can't get right at quarterback ever.
Right.
And those would be the opportunities that some of these throwaway cats get. Like you see with a Tannehill this year, you can see something similar like that with Derek Carr come next year.
What you think Ben thought when he saw AB son asking, "Where's Roethlisberger?"
Ben was probably
that shit out, dog. They really should.
Ben was probably just praying, just come on, just don't say nothing derogatory about me. And I like the way AB handled it.
Yeah, that was maturity.
Yeah, he's like, Derek Carr quarterback now, so let's just we don't play for the Steelers no more.
All right, last thing we got on this, we both looked at the schedule earlier today. I think I told you I see 1-7. It's gonna be a long season in Oakland. It's gonna be a long season.
Yeah, they gotta. I looked at, like you said, we looked at the first half. I saw maybe 1 or 2 wins out of the first 7 games. If they can push that to 3 or 4 some kind of way, because we look at these schedules and we're really looking at how the team was last year. We know there's always teams that are not quite as good as they were expected to be, and then you got some teams that kind of sneak up. So if some of those teams that we think that they would lose to fall back, and then Oakland actually plays better than what we expect, then maybe they can win some games. But I don't see them challenging for a playoff spot this year.
Absolutely not. All right, let's run through this little bit of basketball. Last Friday, Carmelo Anthony had an hour on First Take. Did he help or hurt himself in your eyes?
I didn't watch the interview. I watched some clips, bits and pieces of it. Yeah. But as a man, I felt where he was coming from, and a little bit that I did see. Because if people out here spilling dirt on your name and saying things and talking for you, and you ain't said none of it,
nothing.
Especially if it's negative, then I expect you to come out at some point and and defend yourself. But outside of that, I still keep the same thought process. If Melo thinks he is a 35-minute a game starter, on a playoff team. Now you go start for Orlando or somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're a starter on a playoff team, then we there's nothing to talk about. You haven't come to grips with what's reality, and that's that you're gonna have to be a role guy.
Yeah. I had an idea. I was like, who's gonna be the first pick in the Big Three next year? Dwight Howard or Carmelo?
I don't think he's to that point yet.
Jalen Rose said today that he is the T.O. of basketball. I thought that was shitty because T.O. has blown up teams. Melo ain't ever blown up no team.
Yeah, man. I have a very different opinion about Melo.
What has he done?
I mean, like I don't. People saying he's blackballed and like blackballed for what?
Has he done? I mean,
he's not done anything. Like they blackballed him for cheating on Lala. No, like
I'm trying to figure out. I'm glad you said. What has he done? I don't get it.
I'm like, blackball for what?
Yeah,
let's not throw around the term blackball when Colin Kaepernick is still tweeting out to this day, today. I've been working out for 3 years and I'm still ready. You know,
I guarantee you, and I could be wrong. You can correct me on this. If Melo could switch on the pick and roll, he might have a job.
That's very true.
Because the way they abuse him on that pick and roll, because his legs don't go side to side, that
Right.
might be why he's not in the NBA right now. That very well might be, but you don't make a whole lot of money. You'll bounce back. Draymond Green took 4 years, $100 million last year. Boy, Golden State pushed all their chips in the middle of the table, and you can't necessarily blame them. There was only one loser in that situation. That was
D'Angelo Russell. Rent, homie. While you in San Francisco or Oakland, wherever you living at, whatever side of the bridge you living on, probably San Francisco, since the team's gonna be on that side this year. Yeah. Rent, homie. Rent. Don't buy.
Enjoy yourself, but
yeah.
I don't see you being there past July 2020.
I think I saw come next year, Clay, Steph, Draymond, and D'Angelo Russell, if he's still on that roster, would equate to $139 million.
And
that's pretty much
about 105.
I was about to say that's all of the cap and then some, and you still have to fill out 8 more spots of the roster. And what we say, I know that the Warriors have won in the past, and they may come back and still win some more. But big luxury tax dollars are for teams that win championships.
That's for winners. I'm sorry.
You know.
Now they're gonna get the bread because you know.
You know what? That's another thing too. So maybe that whole little spiel I just made is irrelevant because I forgot about all of the tech dollars that are supposed to be flowing into this stadium next year. So they actually can afford it with more than enough. Yeah.
You think E40 and MC Hammer pay for their tickets?
Yeah.
I mean, they should look out for E40. He's like Oakland.
They look like you and me.
Okay, gotcha. All right. This NBA All-Decade team came out.
Maybe when the Warriors suck.
Yeah. They were letting them in then, huh? This NBA All-Decade team came out, and I ain't necessarily got no issue with it. Kawhi. PG made the third team. Do you got any issues with this team? I mean, it's all up to perception, but I saw people on television today killing Melo. Like, Melo done played 17 years in the NBA. He was good for about 15 of them. He got drafted in 2003. So this was all his time. Now, how LA made the third team, I'm lost.
Okay, so now this is the all-decade team. So this is from 2010 to 2019?
2010, 2019.
Okay, so the early 2000s ain't even part of it. So that means like the 2000s ain't even really a part of this. No. It's supposed to be factored in. Because when I saw Kobe 13, of course everybody on Twitter was going crazy. I was like, yeah, what? Kobe 13
got drafted in 96 though? Shit.
Yeah, but if you look at the 2010s,
is he still getting that work?
I mean, you look at the last 5. He's been out of the league 3 years now?
About 3 or 4.
3 or 4 years, okay. And then when he was there the last 2 or 3 years, he was hurt and they weren't doing well. So you got to go all the way back to like 2010, 2011, I think. You know, when Kobe had a good season and the Lakers had a good season, and I could be off with that.
No, that's not right. That's not right.
Little bit. But when you factor that in, then you can say, okay, maybe Kobe should be on the third team. Me personally, I just think, fuck it, it's Kobe. I'm not putting him on the third team or nothing. Somebody else got to
make this team when Giannis just got good.
And that's the problem with these lists that be coming out during the off and down news time days. I think we talked about it on one of the other lists. I think it was the NFL 100 we was talking about. Yeah. People really grading these things based on what they last saw.
Giannis only been good about 3 years now, right?
2
maybe 4.
2
right. So how do you make the all-decade team?
Yeah. 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 And then when you talk about LaMarcus Aldridge, that's another one that raised an eyebrow, but somebody broke it down on one show I saw. He actually has more all-star appearances, better averages, damn near across the board than
Blake.
It was somebody else that they were trying to put in over him. I want to say it was. Well, I think it was Giannis. He's definitely got better numbers than Giannis over that
easily.
frame.
Hell, PG.
But you don't look at some of these guys as all-time greats. So when you see an all-decade team, you looking for all-time greats, and then so I can see why. I can see why, but it's
Kawhi got on the map essentially that last title Miami lost. That was what 4 years ago when you made the first team of the all-decade.
I mean, I even take Anthony Davis. I mean, he's a talent worthy of somebody's all-second team. But what did he win in New Orleans? I mean, in and out of lineup, been hurt, So again, it's something fun it's something to have fun with. But yeah, it's nothing to take serious at all.
Let's finish this last one so we can get up out of here. The NCAA made some changes in regards to the agent situation.
The kingmaker.
Yeah, this was the Rich Paul situation. An underclassman can work with an agent and retain his eligibility should he decide to return to school, provided the agent has a bachelor's degree, is certified by the NBA Players Association for the last 3 years, and passes an exam. I'm grown, dog. I ain't going to take no test. They want him to go take a sit-down written test to go do this. Yeah, this felt like this was all about Rich to me. Now, it felt like it to me. I didn't realize. I hit you this morning. I was like, damn, I thought everybody went to college under LeBron. I thought that was what the narrative was. Like he sent all his homeboys to college and then put them on. But people, here's a spoiler alert. You ain't got to go to college and rack up all those student loans to be successful in life. You really don't. Right. It's a whole lot of people paying a shitload of money in student loans, and they are making less than what some people are. Now, looking at his experience and what he went and did working for Nike and CAA with Leon Rose, shit, he won. That's real life experience.
And a lot of companies, especially some of the forward-thinking companies like your Apples and your Googles, every company and corporation is going to have, positions that you need to have a degree in. Some people need to go to school for certain things, but some things you don't necessarily need to go to a traditional 4-year college for. I think we know that. But this particular rule, of course, absolutely we thought of Rich Paul automatically. And I was driving to work today trying to figure out how to what all I wanted to say about this subject, because there are some facts that say, hey, it's not only Rich Paul that they're singling out, but we know that it's also being camouflaged. It's kind of like you shoot the big net, but you're really trying to catch one big fish.
Right.
There are other agents, that represent professional players that didn't go to college, that don't have degrees. We know that. And then when it comes to the in-person exam and being certified, everybody's got to be certified anyway. Now, this exam thing that the NCAA is trying to pass down, in a way, I do kind of agree with them in this aspect. You do want worthy, trustworthy, credible people representing,
kids,
these kids, basically. So I get that piece of it. Where it becomes a little bit hypocritical is this is the NCAA we're talking about, who has been exploiting kids forever.
Right.
And all of a sudden you jump on this high horse, and it's coming from, sometimes it ain't about the message. Sometimes it's about who's sending the message. Somebody else maybe needed to send this message. But what I was telling you earlier today, let me get back to that before I start rambling. I don't think this is going to affect Rich Paul much at all, because this rule is not to keep agents without degrees from managing or representing the one and dones, or the kids that are coming out of college that don't plan on coming back. It's simply about protecting or the kids that are using this new rule that they put in place last year, where they can actually go test the draft waters with an agent, and if they don't like their draft position, still have eligibility left. They used to not be able to do that. Once you sign with an agent, that was it. So they've changed that a little bit, and that's good. But if you think about the caliber of player that is in that position is normally a middle of the road so-so player who's probably teetering on bottom of the first round, second round.
Right.
Right now, those are not really the type of cats that Rich Paul is representing. But at the same time, they want to prevent future Rich Pauls. They can't stop Rich Paul.
Nah,
it's too late. They can't stop him. I think this is more about stopping future guys from him that look like him and us and you and me, whatever, that we don't want this to overtake, you know what I'm saying, the traditional agency kind of deal that's been in place for a while. Because Rich Paul, when they got this kid Beasley, I might be pronouncing his name wrong, he didn't go to college, got him an internship that paid him $1 million with New Balance. Right out of high school.
That young man last year.
Yeah. Right out of high school.
Yeah.
Trust me, people. Some people don't like that. Some people don't like that.
Agent percentage is about what, 10%?
No, I think it's normally like 2 or 3. Okay. Somewhere around there. I mean, you know, each thing has a different agreement, but you know.
So just off the Draymond deal and the Ben Simmons deal, at 3%, he got $8 million this summer.
If it's 3%, like I say, it may be even be less than 3, but it's not. It sounds small, but when you actually calculate it versus these big deals, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and then they turn around and sold Clutch to what, CAA or whatever that talent agency is for $300 million.
Right.
And they winning, dog.
I mean, they got this thing figured out. LeBron told us years ago, I plan on being a billionaire.
Yes.
And I want my people to be there with me. It ain't no fun if you making all the money and your people still got to go work regular jobs. They ain't gonna be your people no more because you can't hang out, you can't do the same things. You gonna get tired of paying for everything. So you bring your people along and y'all all make this guap together. And that's what they doing.
On this, if people are sitting there shitting on him not having a college degree, if this young man can navigate the salary cap, look at these contracts. Of course, I know they have lawyers to help, but I don't believe he's a novice and don't understand none of it. Y'all need to tip your caps, man. Like, for real.
The agents are under fire. The old school agency way is under fire. We talk about Rich Paul. We go back last week. Negotiated himself. He is the highest paid inside linebacker in the game, Bobby Wagner. He did that deal himself. No agent. Okay? So these cats is either cutting out the agents or they starting to go non-traditional routes. Okay? And they rocking the boat. They shaking cages, and they don't like that.
And they don't like that. And if the Lakers got that Supermax for AD next year, that's $7.5 million he's going to get next year. So, off the John Wall money he got, the Eric Bledsoe money he got, Rich is winning, people. That's the kingmaker. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Get up out of here. Ain't no boxing that happened I can think of.
Nah, it's nothing I can think of.
Did you see that comment that Dabo made talking about he don't want to hear nothing about that SEC wore Alabama out shit?
Man, fuck Dabo, Sweeney.
Uh-oh.
Nah.
Where that come from?
What? Oh, Will, man, Dabo, man, that cat, man.
Okay.
You don't be saying like his comments on certain things. No. I mean, he talked good in front of the cameras and everything, but when it comes to like some of these social issues and stuff, and some of the stances that he was taking on things, no, I didn't used to. I still think he's a good football coach or whatever. But you know, I'm getting older, so I'm starting to look at who you are as a person now. Yeah, and I don't like what I see.
I get you. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. All right, let's get up out of here.
All right, people, we finna get up out of here. We appreciate y'all tuning in again. This is AA Sports, Straight Sports, No Chaser, episode 181. Don't forget to watch, hit that subscribe button on those YouTube channels on the podcast platform on Apple, iTunes, or the Spreaker Network. We appreciate that. Leave us some comments as well. Uncle Hate, tell the people where they can reach you at on social media to chop it up about sports or anything else.
At ReK6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, and then you can find me. I'm on Twitter as well, Diego Barish. Again, we got a Facebook page, got an IG page. Shout out to the Urban Arena crew. That's Get With It Sports, Team Boy TV. Shout out to Big Q and
Glass. Shout out to them.
Yeah, Big Q, Glass, and JB over there, and then to the boys Kane and Nice over there as well. All right, baby, we up out of here. Y'all enjoy the first week of real preseason, not that Hall of Fame game shit last week. First week of real preseason starts tomorrow.
Shout out to Tequila.
You got what?
Shout out to Tequila.
Shout out to Tequila from your boy Uncle Hay. All right, for Uncle Hay, Diego from Rich the Cough, we up out of here, baby. Again, we are AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all be easy. We up out of here. Peace.